Welcome to Testify Podcast. This is a moment we get to sit with some amazing people in our community and hear about the goodness of God in their life. Maybe some challenges and maybe some tough times, but the testimony of Jesus Christ and his faithfulness in our life. And today we are blessed because we have the amazing Jayne Gray joining us.
Wow.
Thanks.
Jayne.
Here's a story.
Who is also Marshall's sister, I might add.
I'm her brother.
Who's the favourite child?
Me.
Definitely me.
Yeah, I was going to say Jayne.
Always me.
I sensed it when I'm around you guys and your parents are there. Favouritism. Nah, thanks for joining us,
Thank you.
Jayne. So, can you spitfire for people that don't know you? Where you're from, where you grew up, if it's a different place, kids, how many kids you got, what you're doing for work now, and maybe what you love doing.
Wow.
And what are those that you can't remember? I'll remind you.
That's the whole podcast taken up. Yeah.
No, just spitfire answer, short.
Yeah.
Born in?
So I was born in Auckland, New Zealand, in Mount Roskill.
Oh, yes.
Central Auckland, yeah. And then when I got married, I moved out to West Auckland and spent the rest of my time in New Zealand in West Auckland. And yeah, I'm the proud mum of 5 children and proud nana of 1 little granddaughter.
Oh, wow.
Who is 7 months. So she's gorgeous.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Sage. So I have my 3 adult children live in New Zealand, and my granddaughter. And then I have my 2 boys, Caleb and Jet, with me over here. So my eldest is 30 and my youngest is 14. So there's quite a lot of space and lots of stories in between that.
Yeah.
I kind of feel sometimes that tells my story a little bit.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, yeah.
What are you doing for work at the moment, or starting, or?
Yeah. So I've just got a new job with Salvation Army, working in one of their rehabilitation centres. So I start that next Tuesday. So
How
that's a
amazing
team
is
leader
that?
role. Yeah. So I feel very blessed to have that job. I have had, it's been quite frustrating for me with jobs because when I came from a kind of a leadership senior management role in New Zealand with a community mental health and addiction organisation. So coming here, it was really hard to find. It was really hard to find a job. So I had quite a bit of frustration because I'll have been here 2 years in June.
Far out.
So taking any job that came my way, looking all the time, just staying diligent to, the Lord really pressed on me that you just do the work. Like it might not be what you want, it might not be where you want to be. So I just did whatever came across my path, and I took that as a blessing and as abundance and from the Lord, because that's how
Provision.
Provision.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
provision. So I kind of walked through a real lesson on what provision really looks like when it's all stripped away and you kind of have to start again from the bottom. And just do some things you don't actually want to do, but you just do them because you've got to be obedient to, And, when God says his promises are yes and amen, like his promise was, I felt that I would have a good job when I get here. Might not happen now, but you just have to lean on that or lean into that promise. So
That's pretty special. And then within 2 years of doing, maybe some things you didn't want to do, or you've got an amazing job opportunity lined up.
And with Salvation Army,
Huge.
which is so amazing because, their heart is to do good and be Jesus on the street and, with ordinary everyday people. And that's my heart. And plus in our family, our Nana's grandmother and her parents were part of Salvation Army in New Zealand.
They
Really?
were Salvation Army officers.
I was going to
Yeah.
say they would have had. They've got.
Yeah.
They've
Yeah.
got
Ranking.
levels, rank.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's an amazing photo of them in their regalia, and we've still got this. Mum's still got these Salvation Army pins, and
Oh.
so I feel like it's like a really cool, turn. You know, like
Yeah.
a yeah.
Yeah, it's
Circle.
generational,
Like a
bit of a
circle.
circle.
Yeah,
That's
and
really cool.
I love that, and you know, I know Nana was really dear to me, so I know that she would have been. Well, she probably knows she would have been thrilled that I'm working with Salvation Army, and plus doing, you know, working in addiction, which I've trained in and come through myself. So it's like I love how God circles round, and
Yeah.
what we always think is the death of us or the end of us becomes the life
Yeah.
that we give.
Yeah.
You know, like
he works like that often, hey.
yeah,
Yeah, that's. I think that's where that scripture is fulfilled often in our lives. Is oh Lord, what God will use all
Meant for-
things for good in our
Yeah.
lives. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Last question before we dive into it. What's something that you love doing?
I love doing.
Yeah. What's something that you find fun that you just love doing?
That's always hard sometimes for
Oh.
a busy mum, like and someone who, you know, because often I go, yeah, what do I like doing?
Dropping the kids
I
off
just-
at you.
Yeah. I love being with family. I like reading. I like
Oh,
the
nice.
quieter things in life.
Yeah, nice.
You know, like I appreciate art. I love actually going to art galleries and stuff like that. Like
Oh,
I went
really?
to Sydney with my cousin, and all we did was go to the big library there, go to the art galleries.
Coffee in hand.
Go to the
Yeah,
orchestra.
coffee. More of a tea drinker. But yeah, we went to
Not the Sydney Orchestra.
we went to the Sydney Opera House. Yeah.
and saw the legit.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was amazing. And there was an organist. Yeah.
Oh.
Totally opposite. Totally
Gosh,
opposite
honestly.
to my brother. Yeah. So I really enjoy the quieter things in life and pondering and thinking. I like learning. Reflection. Yeah. All that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm.
Well, I did my 5 questions. You're up.
Oh, okay. I'll just ask one.
Yeah, no, I'll get the tissues. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So, where did it all start?
well,
Yeah, where did, Christ was in your life?
oh yeah. So we grew up in a Christian
Yeah.
household. Mum and dad loved the Lord. Always went to church. So
It was a pretty cool community, yeah.
yeah,
It
it
really
was.
was.
Yeah, we were kept very safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, very safe, I heard.
Very safe.
Very
Like
safe.
prison safe?
Yeah.
Yes, but in that safe, things happen, and yeah, I had some quite traumatic stuff happen as a child before I was 10. Not from family. It was from a person who was respected and just used that authority to do what he wanted. Yeah.
They're part of the church or no?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. So that was a significant trauma in my life that did change, unfortunately, the trajectory of where I went
How old
But-
were you?
later on.
Sorry.
Yeah, but that didn't come out until,
No, until I was
Like-
24.
yeah. So
Yeah.
what makes you suppress stuff for so long, that pain and stuff?
Can
Well,
how old were you when that happened
Oh, it
first?
was probably between 6 and 8.
And this was,
It was-
just to clarify, this was abuse at that age from... Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. So I think for people who've been through traumatic abuse like that, childhood sexual abuse, you do suppress it because you can't understand what's happening to you because you're only young. Like, it's before you're 10. Like, you have no understanding of really what's happening. You know it's not great. You know it's not good and it's bad. But then you might be told, if you tell your parents, this will happen. Or, because you're threatened not to tell. So you don't. So I suppressed that really. I suppressed it so much that it wasn't till I got married and had a baby myself that all these memories started coming back. And I always thought, oh, that's not right. Like, there's something wrong there. So I got some counselling, and then I realised that had occurred. Yeah.
So what's people cope, right? People
Yeah,
have
and
to cope.
I think what I said too, like, it changed the trajectory of my life.
Yeah.
So that trauma, the enemy gets in and he starts with children, and that's something I get quite passionate about because I'm just, he starts there. So I feel sometimes too it changed my personality. So, and I became quite quiet, withdrawn, didn't make a scene. And often you are aware that you're doing things that you shouldn't actually know about. Like, conversations or things that other children your age don't know. And you're like, oh, so it kind of, so with that brings shame and guilt. And, so, but I'm thankful for a loving family and home was a safe place for me. Nana's was a safe place for me. Loved my Nana. Stayed a lot with Nan because she just lived down the road. And church too was learning about Jesus. And I loved Jesus from a young age too. Like, I used to read my Bible, and because I was often awake a lot at night, so I didn't sleep very well. So in my Bible, there's little notes where I've put, this verse helped me on this night back in, So Jesus, I loved him from a very young age and was quite tender towards him. I remember when I gave my heart to the Lord and I was 10. And I felt so proud about that and couldn't wait to go home and tell Dad. And so, because Jesus was important in our family and we always had family devotions. Because we were at church all the time, you learnt a lot about
3 times on Sunday,
Jesus.
Tuesday night, Thursday night, Saturday night. Yeah.
So that was your life.
When you realised that it was that what you went through, how long did that period go for?
Probably 2 or 3 years. Yeah, it was quite a while. And
when you were realised that, hey, that was not okay, that's not the right thing, was there a moment where you were challenged, like, hey, Jesus, why are you letting that happen? Or was there a moment like that, or was it just?
No, that wasn't till later, when I was older and I was going through the healing from it, and after I told my family. So it wasn't till after then, that I kind of felt the anger, and this is just a big lie.
Because you started to let it out. Because you kept it. Oh, man.
So, and by that stage, I had 3 kids under 5, and I had one. I had Emily then, and then just because I got married at 19, so I got married really young, and that was a way out for us, so we could leave church because, it was so suppressive. Like, we couldn't. Our first movie together was on our honeymoon, so that was kind of the restrictions that we had.
So dating and stuff, no movie,
no. But Mum and Dad were really good in that they were very lenient. And Dad said, there's no girl of mine's going to be sitting outside in the cold at church talking to someone. They can come home. So I was so thankful for that.
Oh, that's cool.
So Mum and Dad...
Yeah, they were really good, eh?
Yeah.
They sort of pushed back on a lot of stuff.
They pushed back on a lot, actually.
You always used to say, these are my kids. And I can decide.
Yeah, nice. These are my kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Rochelle told us a story once. I think I said that we talked about this the other day. Same church, where she Garpy dropped her off late to youth group or something one day, and another kid got dropped off at the same time, and an elder or someone saw them walking in together, jumped on the phone, called Garpy or whatever, and was like, your daughter's come in with another guy. And he's like, I dropped her off. I saw that kid walking in with her. Like,
Yeah.
so that's what you guys grew up with.
Yeah.
That's
And
hectic.
a lot of that was based on fear.
Yeah.
So, elders in that were fearful of not looking like they were doing good and being a good church, and so they would pounce on all the young people. You can't do this, you can't do like. When I think about it, there's so much projection going on.
Response to fear is control.
Yeah.
And then control makes you smaller.
And then, but like kids would have been sleeping with each other and getting pregnant anyway, I'm assuming, and leaving.
Yeah. And then they'd get kicked out of church.
So it just didn't even work.
Yeah, well, that's fear, control,
Small.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So our kind of goal was when we got married, we would leave.
I remember that conversation at Nana's house.
Yes.
In Mount Roskill.
Because you were really upset.
Yeah.
Because I think you thought I was walking away from God.
Yeah.
And you were like, I remember you being so upset.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we didn't. We carried on. We went to Bible school. We did a missions trip. We really tried and we loved the Lord. But when you've got stuff inside that's not healed and you don't know how to deal with that, because we weren't given the tools. There was no discipleship or getting alongside anyone. And there's shame and guilt. You just do the best you can. And we did the best we could, but it just all imploded. And I had 3 children under 5, so I was a busy mum, and then I had got diagnosed with postnatal depression, but I think that was just my unhealed stuff.
Or a
because
compiling of all of it.
Anger is like, it becomes depression because you hold on to it and it becomes and it implodes on itself and you get depressed. So, so a lot of that, and then that marriage ended, and kind of that's when I went through a really rough time. Yeah, yeah, and so, just started
so
all
you have terrible abuse, you have breakdown in a relationship. So how are you coping there?
Well, before our marriage ended, I started self-medicating with alcohol, and that became a regular thing for us. And then
did it sort of just numb the pain?
Yeah, and other people around me were doing it.
Yeah.
So I thought, if I don't do it, I'll get left behind. You just do what people are doing around you, who you hang out with. And then that also started drug use as well.
So Christ at this point, having a pain, but Christ is like an anchor.
Yeah.
When did sort of Christ start taking the back seat type thing in your life?
Probably when I started... Probably when the pain was too bad.
Right.
And I just thought, there's no tangible... I can't see God. I can't...
Yeah.
And as much as I loved Jesus as a child, because I felt like I knew him more through Bible stories and all that kind of... I always prayed to Jesus. Whereas God to me was the next level. So he was the one who punished. And this was from my church upbringing, So I literally saw God as someone who held a big stick, and when you were bad or when you didn't whatever, he'd just hit you, and he'd just like bash you and be like, you're not good enough. And that's so not the Father heart of God. But that's how so anyone who has that experience, you don't want to hang around. Like I didn't want to hang around with God and have that. But I still had a tender heart towards Jesus, and I would still sometimes play worship music, or I had my Bible, and so my heart never really left, but my lifestyle, what I chose to do, how I tried to heal my pain was definitely not God-centered.
Yeah, because you don't change what you believe, but when
No.
when Jesus isn't giving you what you want straight away,
Yeah.
that's what we all still do in
Yeah.
different ways. We're all doing that every day.
Mm.
Yeah.
Some of it just looks worse and has dire consequences.
Yeah. So I just gave up, and I think I remember saying to you, like, church is boring, and if you want to live that life, that's cool, but I'm going to live my life. So it's like I made a decision to be like, nah, I want to find out there's so much pain going on. I don't really care. Like, I stopped caring. So I stopped caring. But I think being a mum was really important to me. So that kind of kept me going. But even then, it didn't, because I was just like in so much pain and hurt and felt rejected, and, my marriage had failed. And because I walked away, it looked like all the blame kind of went on me.
Yeah.
Because I walked away, because I just couldn't.
So you had no support because you weren't really in a community of faith.
No support. I was in a community of people who drank and used drugs.
Yeah.
Well, that was your support.
Yeah.
That was my support. So, and that was that became my normal. And I moved away from my family. I mean, I still hung out and stuff like that.
What was that? No?
Not really. You didn't. It became pretty shallow.
Yeah.
We couldn't really talk that much.
No.
Because I was, annoying to her probably.
No, you weren't. Yeah. It was, I think what it was is that I could see that, you were thriving and God was center of your life, and I was doing the exact opposite, and I was like, yeah, I may as well just live in this rejection and this, Jayne's the one that's, caused the issues and been a problem. And so I thought, well, I'll just wear that. I'll wear that. I'll be the one who, I'll be the rebel, or I'll be the one who thinks different, and I'll prove to everyone that there is no God and you can do life without him and that it's fine. So that became my,
Mantra.
Yeah.
So how long
Didn't really say that out loud.
No.
But it became my was my inner voice.
Inner voice.
Like, don't worry, you can be crazy. They can do their thing. But at the same time, my family still loved me.
Yeah.
Unconditionally. Well, sometimes with conditions.
Yeah.
But when the rubber hit the road, who was there? It was my brother, Yeah. So it was mum or dad. It was Nana. Yeah. So
How long, so you were drinking, how long before drinking led to other stuff?
not that long. Yeah. So it was brought into the home.
How
So, helped me sleep.
did you want to?
Wow.
Did you want to give up in life and stuff?
Oh, I give up on life. Yeah. And I tried to do that. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. A couple of times. Yeah. Yeah. Overdosed. Intentionally overdosed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because it was like, yep, that's it.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's funny, I'll prove. It's not funny at all. But, I don't know why we say that. It's interesting. Like, I'll prove that I can do this and that I'm all good, and then that leads to I can't do this, I want to end it.
Yeah. So it's just a big fat lie.
Yeah. Yeah, it always is. Hey?
Yeah. And I think the first time I did that, it was quite obvious. But the second time, I'd planned it. So no one really knew, because everyone thought I was okay. And that's what you've got to watch for sometimes, because we see suicide ideation and suicide as someone looks sad, they're really depressed, they can't get out of bed. But usually, in my experience, is you've planned it and that's your way out, and you actually feel happy about that.
We were taught that. I did a suicide prevention course a few years ago, and they taught us that that's a sign to look out for, that if someone is down and then there's a quick turnaround and they're almost at peace, that's a warning sign that a plan's been made, a way out has been made for them.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you just said. That was taught to us.
So you kind of pave the way for it, which is so terrible. But you're so lost and your mind's not right. You actually are not right in your head when you're thinking that. So, and I think too, and I was staying with Nana at that time. So I remember, she's going, I'm going for out. Do you want to come? And I was like, no, I'm just going to go for a walk. And then did that. And then I think you came over and you were following the ambulance, not knowing if I was alive or dead. Yeah. So, and that's the reality of it. Like that's raw, like, and sometimes people don't like to talk about that, and that's okay. But in this space, I think it's good to talk about it because it happens. But at the same time, if I can prevent one person from going and doing that, that's awesome, And I think there's always a time, like I know there's always a space where you do the thing, but then you realise this isn't what I want.
Yeah.
This is not what I want. Like, no. So I always kind of, if people are feeling that, say just do that time. Like let that
instant regret.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's not how we're supposed to die.
No.
And so at that point, like, was there prayers said when you're doing that? Like, was there?
No.
Like.
Can't remember.
Okay. Yeah.
Probably. I would assume, especially because of how you've been raised.
Yeah, but I felt too that that's what the Lord wanted me to do.
Right. Okay.
Like I felt
It's
at peace with it. It is so twisted.
Yeah.
Oh, you felt that's what the Lord was wanting you to.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I was mentally, obviously, quite unwell and using pretty mind-altering drugs. And when I couldn't do that, I'd be drinking. So I was always working towards when I could feel better and fill myself with stuff to feel better. And then, so I had...
So is this like the long-term effect of trauma? Like
yes.
from even though when you're young you suppress all the pain, is it, am I right, like it just grows bigger?
Yeah.
The pain grows bigger, so you need more
it's not
medication, or how does it, what do they call it? I think
because, I've done some inner healing training and things like that, and what it is, it's the core of it is rejection and shame and guilt and feeling not good enough because you were shown that. You were abused that way. You're only good for this. Don't tell anybody. It's all your shame. It's all because of you. So you carry that shame and guilt, and that's what I carried for a very long time.
And it doesn't go away, it gets bigger, isn't it?
Not really.
Right, and so you need more to cope.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it doesn't and can't heal itself. It needs to be confronted and dealt with.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. But I was trying to not do that.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to go there.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go to those ugly places. So I became ugly, being drunken and high.
Yeah.
And having, just going crazy. Like literally going crazy.
But the pain was gone for a moment.
Yeah.
The pain was gone temporarily. That's why you do it. It's like, man, I feel good for a couple of hours or however long I can keep this up.
Yeah.
So the Jesus you had when you were young sort of had diminished.
Yeah.
Diminished.
Not really.
Not fully.
Because I would pray a lot at night time.
Right, okay.
And when I was saying to Sam the other day, if I was drunk or high, I'd talk about Jesus and I'd talk about God. And how much he loves us. And, oh my gosh, I grew up a Christian and I need to go back to that because that's the truth. And that's what I'd be talking about.
It's common, hey?
Yeah.
It's common. People that run away from the Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we know
but
that
it that's
truth.
Courage and then...
Yeah, and it's like, you just need Jesus. What about you? I'll get back there sometime.
Or I'd say, my brother's a pastor. Like, my brother's a pastor. Like, he's a mate, that was my claim to Jesus or something.
Yeah, I'm good with God because my brother's a pastor.
But I remember one time, because, I spent a few times in the mental health unit, and because I had drug-induced psychoses and
Oh,
had nowhere to live, and just was rock bottom. And I remember Marshall would always come and visit me in the psych unit, which would not have been easy. I've actually never asked you about that. No. Yeah. You crying made me cry.
I'm not crying.
But I was just happy there. Yeah, because I thought, this is where I'm meant to be. Like, in a psych ward off my face. Weird, because I felt then I was with people who understood me. Yeah, you're definitely not in your right mind. And then, so he would come and visit me, and he would bring me little gifts from Sisters Conference, and and I can't even remember what. I probably said so much rubbish, but I remember saying, because there was this guy there, and we were kind of, and I said, "Oh, my brother's a pastor. He can marry us." Like, that's the kind of stupid. No, it's not stupid. It's just where your mental health goes.
Just delusion.
You just don't think, and I had 3 young kids, so.
What was it like for you, Marshall, going in there? Like, what were you doing? You're a pastor of a big church, and
Yeah, you sort of don't know what to do. So you just...
and you were young.
Yeah.
You would have been
don't know.
yeah.
late
in your
20s.
late 20s, like,
Yeah, you sort of don't know what to do. But I just knew I just had to go and say hello.
Yeah. Because as much as Marshall and my family didn't like seeing that, and there was a lot of anger and, like, man, what an egg. Like, I remember quite a few times Marshall would try to reason with me, and I remember those times, and just say, "You're such an egg. Like, stop being an egg, Jane. You are not this."
Yeah.
So,
Oh, wow.
and again, that's identity. Like, that became my identity. Like,
And I thought it was I knew it was a battle, like it was a fight. And but I also knew that Jane didn't like me talking about the Lord, just because it would, and I was probably just to compound the pain, maybe how I was communicating. I probably wasn't great then.
No.
You're sort of just struggling. You just try and just take something like a gift or something that's gonna spark something.
And I always did.
Yeah.
You know, like Marshall would drive me around too. I feel sorry for you having to do that. 'Cause I was like, I'd lost my mind. Like,
Is this
you're
after
still
when
my
you got
sister.
out?
yeah, but you still wasn't.
You're still my sister.
Oh, he'd come, yeah, because sometimes he would need to take me to respite or to the emergency room and try and keep me.
Because Mum and Dad lived a few hours out of Auckland, so when they would come up, they'd always visit and stuff and help and that. So it was like a window of time that it shifts you. It does something in your own heart, with empathy and compassion and
I can.
patience
hear it.
and. So you learn a lot. It's like tuition, right? It's costly. And it's not always finances that you pay with. It's your own thinking, your own heart posture. Jane's not fitting my ideal.
Yeah.
How do I fix her?
Yeah, and I can hear that even when you said, she didn't want to hear about God. So you're like, what do I do? I just come, and I even love that he's calling you an egg, because it's like, it's probably the most
Sibling language.
yeah.
And the worst derogatory term I can think of.
Yeah,
being a pastor.
Yeah, but it's also encouraging of like, this isn't you. You're egg. It's not like you're stupid, you're dumb, you're cooked. It's like, you're an egg. You're being silly.
Yeah.
And
then quite often Marshall would say, "It's okay, Jane. It's okay."
Oh, wow.
when it wasn't okay. Like, he'd come with me to some appointments and I'd be off, and then they'd say, what drugs have you been using? And I could sometimes hear Marshall just go, oh my gosh, my sister. Yeah. So he had to sit there hearing all that. And then I would only take my medication if they rang Marshall first. And I could talk to him because I thought they were poisoning me.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Take the pill.
Take
Yeah, I'd be like, okay. And then, or I'd run away, we'd go somewhere and I'd take off and he'd be like, come back here. Jayne, stay here. Like, when I think about it, you were young and I just think, well, he just took on that role. And Mum and Dad were very much in that as well. They were amazing too. And Nana, because Nana was a prayer warrior, so she's always, often I'd say, Nana's praying, I'll be fine. But I still would do what I would do. But, so yeah.
It's all trying to escape, right? It's all just trying to find utopia.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah.
And
and the enemy kind of deceives you in believing that it's okay, that it's right.
Yeah.
Like, this is who you are.
Yeah.
You're crazy. You use alcohol and drugs. You're not a great mum. You failed your marriage. Like, you're not a great person. So just be that. Just be that. But
it gets you to partner with, gets you to say things. I can relate to that. Saying those things in your mind enough, and then you say it out loud. It's just the way it is. Just the way I'm going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things I learned at Bible school was non-possessive warmth. So I did have probably a resilience and ability to guard my heart that my sister wasn't a reflection on me. That's what I learned pretty early on,
That's so good.
pastoring. So
That's
helping my
deep.
sister is not, it's her walk, and I'm simply just helping her.
That's pretty deep.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How did that? What?
I did a paper on it when I was at Bible college, just on non-possessive warmth. Like, I'm warm and I'm kind and compassionate, but I don't possess your stuff.
Wow.
Because it's not mine. So I was thankful for that little. That just, of all the study I did, that was a real thing that really resonated with me.
Around the same time.
Yeah, probably a bit before.
Wow.
Probably a while before. So that just enabled me to remain safe and boundaried.
That sounds like the Lord set that up, because is that even a paper that anyone else has done for a
I've never
Bible
heard
school?
of that.
Non-possessive warmth?
Yeah.
Sounds like
I
the
don't
Lord.
think it's a paper. I think it was one
Subject
sentence on a page.
Oh,
And you
because
just,
I've never heard of that.
I just grabbed it.
Yeah, I like
And I'm
that,
like,
actually.
that's like the
resonated.
Holy Spirit was like,
Yeah,
hey, you're going to need this.
yeah. So people think you're strong and all that during this process, but actually,
Oh, you've
it
got
was
the
like a
most
guard.
sensitive heart of anyone I know.
Wow, true. Well, you just reminded me. It's not to sidetrack off on this, but one of the hardest nights of my life, leaving your house to go around the corner to Rowan, my uncle.
oh yeah,
And my uncle lost his life. And I remember standing out the front when he just talking about guarding, and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to deal with this. Like, I don't know how I'm going to deal with this. And I think I said to you, I'm like white as the cops and ambulance, and I'm like feeling sick. And you just went, I said, Marsh, how am I supposed to deal with this? How do you deal with this? And you just went, I just asked the Lord to put a shield over my heart. And as you did that in front of me, I just felt the peace of God come over and shield my heart, and it never left.
Yeah.
It's crazy, eh?
So good.
Thanks for
And
that.
and I think too, the experience that we've been through as brother and sister means that Marshall can pastor with that lens sometimes.
absolutely.
And I
It's
know
close to
often
home, man.
people have said to me, "Oh well, I just know that Marshall understands mental health because he'll just sit beside you, and because he's had that experience." So often I used to joke and just be like, "Oh, I'm glad I could give you that."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
yeah.
his tuition.
Yeah, pretty much.
You can thank me.
I took him
No.
through a paper actually on mental
Yeah.
health.
My sister taught me everything I know.
Yeah. And but there was always grief and loss because I would, I lost a lot. I almost lost my children. I lost relationship with my family how it should be, and I lost my marriage and I lost my salvation almost in a way too, like I lost my. So then it was was rock bottom, absolute rock bottom, and then
And Jesus was not there.
no,
Well, he was there, but not in your view.
no,
But he was there.
because he would always show up, like he would,
Yeah.
like in the form of my brother or my sister-in-law or mum and dad or some other friends I knew who were praying for me.
You were naked. Oh,
Yeah,
closed you,
yeah,
Thirsty, and I gave you something to drink.
yeah. So and they would. Like
Yeah.
I'd stayed with you for a while, and that would have been hard for you and Rosh because you had young kids,
Yeah.
and there was this doula lally auntie
Wandering.
wandering around, So that's the love of Jesus.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and what?
but also my brother.
You're in prison and you visited me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What turned it around? What happened?
Oh,
Because
so-
most
yeah.
people can't come back from that. They really can't.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen in rehab. I've seen psychosis, schizophrenic,
Yeah.
be healed by Jesus. It's a miracle.
Yeah.
But what changed?
I think because I was diagnosed as having bipolar, and then they thought I did have schizophrenia because I was hearing voices all the time. So I was on heaps of medication. But inside I didn't believe it because I knew, Mum, our Nana, Dad's mum, was also had mental health issues. But again, I think that was misused and misdiagnosed as someone who's going through pain. So I think because, your brain is amazing. So if trauma and all that happens, it stays there, it stays in your body. So it will cause mental health issues. It will, send your brain crazy. But sometimes I think that's all that is. Like, anyway, we're deep diving into...
Yeah,
No, that's good.
But,
That's true.
And this is your...
So you
Like,
think,
it's
oh yes,
amazing.
this is who I am. I have bipolar. So
Yeah.
it's okay if I get really low and then get really high, and like that's the answer for it. That's your diagnosis. That's your answer. This is how we're going to treat it. But it still becomes a label.
And you don't fight it. If you
Yeah,
receive
you're like,
it,
oh, cool.
you don't fight it. This is
There's
what
my
it is.
answer.
But you didn't receive it. You were like, no.
No, because I always knew it was from trauma. Like, because I know that, because I was quite intelligent growing up, but schooling was interfered because of all my trauma. So, and I've always loved learning, and yeah, went on to go to uni and get a degree and all that kind of thing because I always wanted to do that. But I know some of the things I thought this can't be true. And what I've known growing up and hearing about Jesus and, just observing Marshall and his journey with the Lord, it's like, no, that can't be the truth. Like, it can't be.
Wow.
So then that made me start questioning, what is truth? What is spirituality? What is, as I became better and...
Yeah, so where on the journey was that? So you in and out of the mental hospital a few times.
Yeah.
Did you go to rehab?
No.
No rehab. You just hit rock bottom and started to climb your way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the support, the kindness and
Yeah, it
love
was
of your
family.
family.
Yeah.
It was my family.
And
Yeah.
so on that journey, you started to get labels because you're getting help. But you're like, nah, this can't be it. This can't be my portion.
Yeah.
And so you start searching. And when does
Yes.
Jesus come back in?
Well, I fell pregnant unintentionally with the gorgeous Caleb. Yeah. And I'd actually just given my heart to the Lord again before I found out. And then I found out I was pregnant. So, and I remember telling Marshall, and I was thinking, what am I going to do? And then, and how can I be in church and praise the Lord in that and be pregnant and not be sure how this happened? You know, like there was a lot going on at that time. So, and at the same time, I was trying to find my worth in relationships. So I had a lot of relationships, just, you know, hookups really, to fill that void, to be loved, to, yeah. So that was the other thing, you know. So I remember telling Marshall, and he, again, with his way, said, it's okay, we can handle this. So
I remember that conversation. I was actually at Raglan on the road from the batch into Raglan.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I could get signal. And I remember that conversation. Yeah. So, no, it'll be all right, Jane.
Probably thinking, oh, my sister.
You got family.
Yeah, you got family. And there was a time when I said, I don't think I can do this. So again, Marshall and Rochelle were like, well, we'll have baby. Well, you know, there was a time when we talked about, well, we can do this. Yeah. And I remember Marshall saying, this baby is not leaving our family. It's staying in our family, however that looks like. So, and I remember, I think you told Mum and Dad for me too. Yeah, because I couldn't face Dad. Yeah, because I knew he'd be heartbroken. So, but in saying that, look at Caleb.
I know.
Like, he's stopped me in my tracks. And I know he was all children are a gift from God.
Yeah, amen.
But at this stage of my life, it was what was needed for me just to stay course, to go to church, to get some community help, to focus on the Lord and get through it that way. Yeah.
I remember Miller sort of being a catalyst for your sort of
definitely
repentance, your turnaround moment of actually
yeah, that's such an important part.
Yeah, and then Caleb came along after that.
Yeah.
But I don't know how it was for you, because I'm just like
Miller.
Yeah, I just remember telling you, we've had Miller.
Yeah, because you rang me.
Yeah.
And I was like, yay, you know, you had it, and I remember you saying, she's a little bit different.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. And I said, can I come up? And you said, yeah, I can come up. So I went up and saw Miller and held her, and she was so gorgeous. And just thinking, wow, you know, my brother and sister-in-law are just going through this is devastating, because you didn't know until she was born. And I was holding Miller and just looking at her thinking, God isn't just being mean to me. Not as in, do you know what I mean?
It's
like,
right.
It was like, Jane, basically get your eyes off yourself as well. Because I was so hell-bent on, you know, it's all bad stuff happens to me. But this was a bump in the road that Marsha and Michelle had to go through. And yet they loved the Lord. And I observed, like I was like, I'm going to watch this and just see how they do respond.
So how is God really in their life with this challenge?
Because this was a little test, you know, and I saw it. And I was like, wow, there's so much joy. There's so much like, no, we believe in good, like that's not going to happen to Miller. And family got around, and she was the most beautiful little baby.
She really was, eh?
So cute.
Even her toddler and baby photos, she's so beautiful, eh?
And I just couldn't believe, like at first I was like, God, how could you do this to my brother? You know, like, but it's kind of like...
It's amazing too, perspective, eh? Yeah. Here I am praying to God, thanking him for this gift.
Yeah.
Because it's a gift.
Yeah.
And then here's Rochelle saying, here's Jane saying, God, how could you do this to my brother?
Yeah.
You know?
Like, he doesn't deserve that. Like, he's a good man. Like, you know, they've been faithful in the church. And now they've got to deal with this. Like, but then it was
she could have died as well at the start.
Yeah.
It was all,
she had a lot of things.
Everything was going on.
Yeah. And it was like, that opened my eyes a bit more. And I observed how my brother walked through this, and it was beautiful. And it was just trusting the Lord, and it kind of made me feel like, well, I need to do that. I need to do that.
And that was like a catalyst, softening of her heart, really.
That's when my heart started, because I had a pretty hard heart.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, and then
Caleb came along.
Caleb came along, and I got to about 6 months, and I'm like, Jayne, you can so do this, because I didn't want to do it because of the shame and the guilt that came with it. Like, a child without a father, that happened to my dad. Oh, I'm just repeating the cycle. How can I stand in church and just hold my head up high? But it's like Marshall kept saying to me, you can. It's the best place to be.
Yeah.
So lots of love and community and connection, and it was a really amazing time.
And that's when you sort of started studying again too. Started that journey.
Yeah.
So it's the recognition that the pain is the propeller for her to move into.
Yeah, because I was interested in mental health, of course. And,
of course you were, yeah.
And I was still in and out of doing what I was doing. Like, I was still drinking sometimes. I was still using some things. Yeah, I was kind of dabbling still because I couldn't let that go. Like, it was kind of like, I'm still testing on it. But definitely the Lord was healing my heart, and I did cleansing streams. And, it was a time of the start of some really good healing.
Wow.
And that's probably my little revelation of grace, like God's in control, and it's not like you want people to heal straight away.
Yeah.
And how can you follow Christ and still be dabbling?
Yeah.
This is my wrestle,
Because I remember Marshall rang me one time and said, oh, so-and-so saw you at the nightclub the other night. What are you doing? And I was like...
And don't worry, I've talked to the so-and-so as well.
Yeah.
She's like, I was preaching to people.
I was telling, and I was like, oh. Yeah, but it was kind of like God saying, I've still got my eye on you. Like, because Marshall's always been my protector. Like, that's how I've always seen him. He's always been my protector. But now, where we are now, it's like, we've always been a good brother and sister. Like, we've always had good relationship. We've never had major falling out. Like, we've always just loved each other. But our hearts weren't always aligned.
No.
So the big turnaround of where I am now is that our hearts are so aligned. Just see people do well, know Jesus, da-da-da. And I love that, because that was one of my hopes and dreams, was that I would be able to work alongside my brother and do that kind of thing, because I loved what he did, always respected what he did. And then and now that's happened, and it's just been amazing. But so he would check in on me, check up on me, like, what's going on. I'd be like, no, I've talked to someone about that, it's fine. Da, da, da.
You know Cy Rogers, eh?
I know.
Yeah. So there's something he said, like a sentence he said, because he struggled with his sexuality. And he said, if you've been a German for 20 years, brought up in Germany, you've got a real strong accent, and you're learning English. I haven't been in the homosexual world for many years, but you can still tell by my language I have a German history, So it's sort of like when people are dabbling, struggling, tripping up every now and then, you sort of think, oh, their language is changing.
Yeah.
It just takes a bit of time.
That's a great
But also, too,
perspective.
I was still searching for validation, for love, because I still wasn't quite believing that it was coming from.
And even that's okay, because you have to know that God's safe to open up a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think it would be too dangerous for people to abandon their heart completely when they've been so hurt.
Yeah.
So,
That's pretty profound.
Yeah.
That's a
So,
great
so I remember
analogy.
that. So I'm like, I know people struggle with stuff, and they, some things are instant. Some things are like, man, that's off my life.
Rare.
Yeah, but God's grace in the letting go of something is quite powerful.
I like that, in changing your accent.
You're changing your accent.
Changing
Man, you
to a
spoke
heavenly
German
accent.
for 20
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
You spoke German for 20 years. You're learning English. You still got a little... I can tell you from Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you still lean on that accent sometimes when you're using words you don't know or when you're
But
uncomfortable.
you speak English long enough and your mind starts to shift.
Yeah.
That's a great analogy, eh?
Yeah, it was really powerful. So, these little points along the way really enabled me to stay supportive of my sister.
Or Marsha would know because I'd kind of be a bit distant or I'd not,
And she's my sister, so there's like a real bond that you don't have with anyone else. And she has taught me so much. And, God's used this relationship to sharpen both of us and, grow our heart for people in pain, because there's a lot of people in pain.
A lot of people in pain.
So brought Caleb up, went to uni, did some community papers, and I'm so grateful because Caleb had such a good community around him. He had Dad, he had Marshall, and I loved it too because Dad grew up with no dad, so he could then do that with Caleb and
it was awesome.
And it was amazing.
Oh, that's hectic. He was never going to let Caleb miss out on that.
It was so amazing. Like,
hectic.
Mum and Dad were actually pivotal in raising Caleb. And I'm so grateful for that.
More so than me. Dad had more impact on Caleb than I. I was always there to, as a funkle.
Straighten him up.
As a fungal.
As a funkle.
Yeah, and to be fun.
Yeah.
But Dad was really...
Yeah, Dad was very pivotal in that.
Yeah.
And because I was still dabbling, he would spend a lot of time with them. And so I started doing your mum on this weekend, Jane going out on that weekend, still trying to find my way, trying to find love, trying to understand a bit of stuff, working through, because, trauma comes up. As it comes up, you deal with it and, So then, so busy mum, and then went to uni, and then kind of walked away again for a while. Yeah. And I don't know why. I just think I got disillusioned with big church, and I didn't quite fit in, maybe because I was telling myself I didn't, because I had some really good connection, but it kind of became a status thing, and I just didn't have that. And sometimes when you're doing things in your own strength, you're doing it in your own strength, and eventually you kind of think, oh, it's too hard. So
and look, it is hard in Auckland as a solo mum, raising kids, working full time, studying, and then trying to fit into a faith community. Because
I have my 3 other children as well. So
so it's full on.
Working through still.
And I never put pressure on my sister.
No.
To go to church.
No, not at all.
And I never said, come on, just get yourself to church.
Yeah.
But it's not.
No.
It's not helpful sometimes.
No, and that was good.
Because that just compounds the condemnation. I'm not doing enough. I'm not.
Yeah, but other people at church would put that pressure on me. Yeah. So, so then I kind of gave up a bit and thought, I'm sick of this. Like, I can't keep this going. So then I walked away again. Tried to, and then met someone. Had a party at my house, and just opened that door again, and met someone who I really tried to make it work with. So,
hello, Jet.
And then hello, little Jet.
Jet, big Jet now.
Yeah,
he is big Jet
tall
now.
Jet now.
Yeah.
But, and then we had Jet. Because I felt like we needed something to keep us together, and that might have helped. And so Jet was very much wanted, and but the relationship with his father was very bad. Yeah, it wasn't a good one. Yeah, so it kind of muddled my way through that because I wanted to prove that I could have a family and that I could do it. And, and this person loved the Lord too and knew, had grown up as a Christian but had terrible stuff happen to them. So I was there to rescue him.
Yeah.
And brought him to church and tried to get him into the family. But he a lot of his stuff wouldn't let that happen. So it was on again, off again, on again, off again, lots of stress. But during that time I went to uni and got my degree.
Which is so cool.
When I think about it, full time.
So cool.
Cleaning part-time.
Yeah.
Just kept my head and my vision on that. Like if I get a degree, I'll get a good paying job as a solo mum, and then I can provide for my family better.
Which is actually the perseverance paid off, because it's true.
Yeah. Yeah, Nana always used to say perseverance gets you to the top of the rata tree. So a rata tree must be really tall or something. But she would always say, Jane, perseverance gets you to the top of the rata tree. It's quite,
Yeah.
So I
you did?
Yeah, I did. And I loved it because I was doing something that I loved. So then, I got a degree.
Yep.
Got a great job.
Busyness, right? You were busy.
Yeah, I was busy.
You had vision
and I had purpose.
Yeah.
Because I was well. I wasn't using. I was in and out of not a good relationship, but I was working through that. Just busy mum at home.
And then you decided to move over here.
Yeah. And then worked my way up. So I kind of started peer support, lived experience. I've always worked in mental health and addiction because that was my vocation. Like I feel, and I love understanding what happens in people's brains and minds. And I loved learning. I loved learning that. And then ended up becoming service manager for that organisation, and a good job. Loved it. Getting alongside support workers, working out their why do you do what you do, and how we treat people and all that kind of thing. I love that. And then things got particularly bad and a bit unsafe with
situations.
With situation at home.
And it was difficult in Auckland.
It was so difficult. Like I was earning quite a good salary. I had a car, I had things provided for through work. And but it was still really hard because it was a single income solo parent.
Everything's expensive.
It was getting really quiet. And Marshall kind of sowed the seed, hey, why don't you move over here? And I was like, no way. I can't leave my 3 big kids. I can't do that. And then, but things in my life got particularly difficult, not because of me, but because of someone else. And then Dad got unwell too.
That's right.
And we were like, this doesn't sound good. So then Marshall again rang and said, hey, you should think about coming over. And I said, well, I always said if anything happened with Mum and Dad, that would be my decider, because there's just the 2 of us, and I didn't want Marshall to have to do that on his own. I wanted us to do that together. So then it was like, okay, yep, I will. And then
you ran it past the big kids, and they were all...
Yeah, my big kids were like, Mum, you should. Like, it's so hard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm going to go hunting with a boy.
Yeah.
Bro.
I am.
Bro.
I'm doing it. I'll make it happen, eh?
That
Sorry.
would be cool. Yeah.
Just thought I'd throw that in there.
Yeah, that would be cool.
He's the man, bro.
And they were just like, Mum, you need to do this because you work hard, and where are you going here? And over there's more opportunity. You'll be around your family, and you'll be with Marshall and Mum and Dad. They were, I had their blessing to do that. And then it was a matter of 4 months, and then I was here. Like it happened so quickly, and often that can happen with me when I make my mind up. It's like, yep, it's happening. Let's do it. But I did need to make sure that it was God's purpose for my life. So I spent one Saturday with music on, praying, my Bible, and I did a big mind map of Australia, and I put Australia in the middle. and I just put everything that came to mind, you know, what's Australia going to give me, or what can I give to Australia, and all that kind of thing, because I wanted to know it was right. And then in the corner, because I looked back, in the corner I'd written 7 months, and I'm like, oh, that's a bit weird, but I'll just go with that. And then I realised when I looked back that it was 7 months from that time to when I came.
Hopped on the plane.
And 7 became quite a significant number as well.
Come on.
And yeah, it was like, wow.
And then I said,
And then we got here.
I said to her, 2 years. Just give yourself 2 years to settle in. And sure enough.
Yeah.
2 years.
I know. And because, you know, I'm like, because I wasn't used to not working, and I wasn't used to, you know, hustling for kids, and, you know, and Marshall's like, just don't do anything. And I'm like, oh. He goes, when was the last time you had a holiday? And I was like, yeah. So, but then 2 months later, I did get a job, and it was a great job, and I really loved that job. But there's lots of travel, and to Brisbane. There were so many tears in the car, because I was just like, God, this is not what I signed up for, but I'm going to keep doing it, because if it's in your will, I will keep doing it, because I know there's a purpose in this. And there was. And then Marshall said, you know, 2 years it can take. And you know, and I've made great connections. I have the best friends.
Yeah.
I have the best friends. Like, just, and, you know, they're single and they're my age, and it's like God's orchestrated this little group of us that have the same situations or backgrounds, or we're older and we're single, and that's okay. And, you know, it's, the community and the church. I love Pimpama. I just love Pimpama.
It's amazing.
It's just amazing. And just people who have come from New Zealand and encouraged, you know, have lived here and said it will get better. Like, this is normal. And there was a lot of grief and loss as well. And just missing my big kids so much, and I still do. I miss my granddaughter as well. So that's really difficult to walk through some days. Yeah, some days I'm just like, why, you know, yeah. But we just do, because God gives us the grace. And now, you know, I have a good job where I'll be able to go visit, go, you know, or bring them here, or, you know, so.
I think the biggest thing for me is seeing my sister just breathe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have a bit of margin,
Yeah.
You know, it was just such a stranglehold in Auckland for a solo parent.
Yeah.
My heart goes out to solo anywhere.
Yeah.
Especially solo mums. Just, it's really, really hard. And so just seeing a little bit of relief.
Yeah. And I think
just been great.
Yeah. So, you know, and when I came back from being in New Zealand just in February, March or whatever, yeah, I found that really hard. And I was like, I felt unsettled, and I was like, I just want to go be with my kids and be Nana, and, you know, but again, the Lord walked me through that, and I think I cried every Sunday for 3 weeks in church, just bawled my eyes out. And I was like, I'm just going to let this happen. And, you know, like, I don't know why, but I know there's something happening. And I think it was just releasing grief, loss, the shame, or, you know, even mum guilt. Because, you know, I'm so proud of those big kids.
They're awesome.
Because they went through a lot. They went through a lot with me. And I just think I think they're amazing, because, you know, so you walk through that too. You think, oh, I wasn't a good mum, you know, and yeah, so I'm very proud of them.
Who is it? It's your oldest is
Emily, Preston, and Lucia.
Lucia. I've met Lucia heaps because she used to come over and hang out with Georgia.
With Georgia, yeah.
Oh man.
So they're just doing really well, and in spite of what they've been through, they're great humans. Like, they're just
they look at even just the photos I've seen of them. I'm like, man, they look like they're all doing really well.
Yeah. So I'm really proud of them, because it hasn't been easy. So and I think just, you know, there's been a lot of tears. There's been so many tears that I felt like I would just never ever get up off the floor because of the tears. And, you know, the Lord's shown me even through that, the meaning through that, you know, like tears a beautiful thing. And
yeah, that's right.
and I was thinking of that verse, Jesus wept. And it's like Jesus wept, full stop. It wasn't Jesus wept and then said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. And
Yeah, he let
he
let
wept.
himself weep.
He
Yeah.
wept, full
Yeah.
stop.
He grieved.
He grieved. And we don't know how long or how short that
Yeah.
was, because that wasn't important. What was important was that he wept. And
It's quite explicit because it's not like he let a tear fall from.
No, that's what we think. Hey, Jesus wept. Done. No, he wept. Weeping is
Yeah.
weeping. That's
Yeah.
not a single tear. That's
so I really want to deep
That's
dive
cool.
into tears
That's
and
cool.
what they are, what they mean, what they were in the Bible times, and how they, whatever
Nice.
they did with them.
that's a
And,
cool study.
I really want to study that. And there's even a song I've been playing on repeat called Man of Sorrows. And it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
hymn
Oh,
by Stephanie Gertzwinger. She sings it.
yeah.
And it's
yeah.
so beautiful. And even though it's kind of like sorrowful, it's beautiful because it's talking about, what it's sort of, there's a line that says, more or less, what, Lord, what you grieve for, let me grieve for. It's really beautiful words, and around how that's important for us to lean into that and get God's heart on what he's sorrowful about. And it's about hurt, pain, not knowing him. And I think that's an amazing turnaround, because my tears were always shameful. I was a crybaby. Stop crying. Like, there's a reason. There was a real reason.
Yeah.
And to turn that around now, to have me stand in church and just cry my eyes out and just not worry about it. Other people do.
I was going to say, you're not the only one. It's probably one of the most common things, apart from, oh, your worship's great. The worship's, I can feel the Spirit here. Whatever that we hear time and time again, which is so encouraging.
Yeah.
But it's also, I just can't stop crying.
Yeah.
It was even, I don't know, you remember me on the first little while of me actually letting go.
Yeah.
I just sit there and cry. I didn't even know why. Just hands in lap, just crying and
Yeah.
mourning things. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing.
Yeah. And, other people would be more worried. They're like, are you okay? Like,
Like,
are you? And I'm like, yes, I'm actually
I'm
fine.
actually amazing.
It was like, break my heart
With
for
what breaks yours. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Nice.
and that's, an intercessory and all that kind of thing. And so I'm not ashamed of my tears.
That's so good.
Sometimes I'm like, oh, yeah.
Can we just maybe segue just for a few minutes just on medication?
Oh, yeah.
So, there can be a lot of pressure from a Christian point of view. You got to get off medication to show that, you're fully redeemed and all that. So what's the journey been for you on that?
Because I've been on and off medication all the time. I haven't been on any for a very long time. I think it's needed. Like, it is needed, because your brain is quite damaged when you've gone through trauma, and when you're going through mental health, your brain is damaged like you damaged your leg or something. So sometimes you need to have some medication. Yes, there's natural stuff, but I think the thing that I did was I educated myself on it. So I was like, right, I'm taking this stuff. What is it?
Right.
What am I taking? Like, it makes sense to actually educate yourself, and don't just sit there and go, okay, the doctor said I need this, I have to take it, because there's all different sorts until you find what works for you. I think...
Because that's been a long, decade journey for you, eh?
Yeah, and I relied on it a lot of times too.
Yeah.
And they give you opioids and all sorts of things. So it's great when you're,
It's great when you want it.
it's great when you're thinking, oh, great, I can be a drug addict and it's quite all right.
Right.
Because it's prescribed and it's normal, I can take this. So
Because there's also a lot of stigma the church has sort of come across too, sort of regimented about it
So I
as
think
well.
you've got to be wise in what you tell your people at church.
Yeah.
And I think you don't have to tell anybody.
Yeah.
Just
I agree.
Just tell people who you trust and are really wanting to support you. and just do that journey yourself. You don't need to get the validation of anyone other than you and the Lord. Like, and just say that simple thing like, Lord, what do you want me to do here? Like, what should I do? What's your answer for this?
Yeah, that's
and
good.
you know, it's
Good.
like
I think that's helpful. Just that little people have.
Yeah,
There's
and
a
I
stigma
would
around
say
it.
if you're judging anyone
Yeah,
for
what's your
whatever
problem?
reason, or
Yeah.
you're judging someone because they're taking medication,
Yeah.
just sit and have a little search in your heart and go, where's that judgment coming from?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
why am I, you know?
And if you don't have any idea about mental illness and you haven't walked with anyone, you
No.
really shouldn't have an opinion on any kind of drug
No.
use for assisting in that because you don't know. You actually don't know.
You don't
So,
know. And or if you want to know, ask them. Say, hey,
Yeah, good.
how's this going for you? Like, I'd love to learn more around this journey of mental health and how it affects you, and also how it affects your Christian life or your walk with the Lord. Like, where do you, you know? So to me, it's be curious.
Can I
Ask
just
questions.
share one other little thing I remember?
Yeah,
I've
and
shared
we'll wrap
two.
up on that because
Yeah.
we've got to give
Oh,
this
no.
room back.
I've heard two. This is the third one. Is you're in the waiting room in a hospital, and there's a kid on the other side screaming their head off, screaming their head off, screaming their head off, and all you can think about is, man, just shut that kid up.
Yeah.
Can't the doctors see that this kid is screaming?
Mm.
Why don't they just sort this kid out? But then the doctor's perspective is the kid's covered in burns. So, of course, the kid's screaming.
Yeah.
And the scream doesn't bother the doctor because the doctor understands
Where it's coming
the
from.
context.
Yeah.
Wow.
The person in the waiting room has no understanding except the irritation of pain. But the doctor knows the situation, and that's how God is.
Yeah.
We can get impatient and how annoying. But God's the doctor, and he knows what's going on.
Yeah.
It's actually, it just sort of
That's
freed me
beautiful.
up like,
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
So good
God
perspective.
understands.
And, you know, I work in mental health and addiction. So
Yeah.
it's like I was made to do this.
yes,
You know, God created me to do this.
yes,
And in spite, probably I'd still do this. Even if I hadn't gone through all that stuff, I think I still would have, because our family tends to have that over them as far as helping people and
Yeah.
community focused and quality of life and, just serving people. Yeah. So sometimes I think, no, it's not because I went through my stuff. In spite of that,
yeah,
I probably would still be doing this.
yeah.
And it doesn't feel like a job. It's like just
Calling.
it is a calling,
Yeah,
and I
calling.
finally see that now. And
Good.
it's there's no, it's just this is it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So good.
Well, proud of you. Thankful
Yeah,
for
thanks.
you.
Thanks
Thanks
Aw,
for your
I love
vulnerability
you.
and
Yeah.
Yeah,
openness.
you didn't cry too much. It's great.
No.
It's been
Anyway, it doesn't matter about tears.
well, it's the
Tears
most
good.
tears cried. So we win. This is the best episode.
No,
Nah.
it's good.
Thanks,
Right,
Jane.
thank
Thanks
you.
for coming on.
Thanks.